I've been called an anarchist multiple times trying to explain the Libertarian Party to people. I just want to know if you can give me what your opinion is on the difference between like federal government having total power and lawlessness.
Well, we have lawlessness is when the federal government has total power and ignores its own laws. No, so I mean, obviously there are all sorts of different libertarians. There are minarchists, there are anarchists, and there are all sorts of different anarchists. There are all sorts of different minarchists. There's a whole spectrum within libertarianism. But when someone tells you, usually when they say you're an anarchist, they don't mean, oh, you want a free market society that's free of coercion. They're saying you want violence in the streets and chaos and everything else. And when I'll say what our policies are, and they'll go, oh, you must want the anarchy that we have in the streets right now, I'll say, we don't have anarchy in the streets. We have the logical conclusion of the policies that the Republicans and Democrats have put forward. We have the growing unrest in our streets as a result of police brutality and disproportionate use of force against certain marginalized communities and all of the other things that have led to that unrest. We have the war on guns, which has made it so that both those protesters and business owners and homeowners are unable to defend themselves, so that the protesters can be brutalized at will, and so that the police can leave the entire rest of the city unpoliced and vulnerable to opportunists who come in and loot and rob and pillage and steal. This is the direct result of what Republicrats have been doing for over 100 years now. So when people say, this is very similar to when Donald Trump says, if you want to know what it's like for Joe Biden to be in office, look at what's happening right now while I'm in office. Now, by the way, what he's saying is true. If you want to know what it's like for a Republican to be in office, you watch what happens when a Republican's in office. That's not what he meant, but he's right. But the answer I would give to that is the things that they think lawlessness and anarchy are is really what's happening right now is a direct result of the people that are in charge. It is what they want. They want it chaos. They want chaos so that we go to them for protection. It is what it's a cynical protection factor. Did that answer your question?
Kind of. I was more of looking for the answer to like how control the population, like have people like not just out shooting everybody.
How to
Like I'm trying to think of a way to put it. That's why I asked.
So the question of, if government isn't controlling all of our lives, what stops us all from murdering each other? Okay, the federal government right now has absolutely no ability to stop any of us from doing anything in this very moment. Who here is thinking of going on a murderous rampage? Show of hands. Who here is thinking of going on a murderous rampage in the roughly... Who is seriously considering... Keeping in mind that you are being recorded, going on a murderous rampage for the roughly however many hours it would take for the feds or the state to catch up with you. The reason people don't kill each other is because they don't want to kill each other. Often the reason people do kill each other is because of either an immediate state of rage or because of a desperate situation. Often those desperate situations are created by bad government policy. The argument that, and it's a defeatist, it's a self-defeating argument. The argument of the authoritarians and of the statists is that we need government to control us because we can't trust people. And so we need a government made up of people. Then we're told, well, we can trust the people in power to rule over us. People. So, in my mind, if you can't trust the people to have freedom over their own lives, and you certainly can't trust them with power over other people's lives. And if you can trust them with power over other people's lives, then you can trust them with freedom over their own lives. So it's a self-defeating argument. And they'll say, well, that's different. The people that are in charge are much smarter than the rest of us. They know a lot more. And I say, how do you know that? And they go, well, I hate all of them. That's why. And they'll say, well, but they were chosen. By who? The people. The ones you don't trust to have control over their own lives? Yeah. It's a self-defeating argument. And it's a conditioning that we were taught as little kids that authority is good. Go to authority when you need help.
and that it's a presumed authority is good, not the authority of your parents or of trusted people in your life, but just the authority of someone who has a badge on, or someone who has a special hat on, or someone who who works in a marble building. That they have a magic authority. They don't, and that's when we run. We don't run to take that authority and pretend that we are able to control your life. It's just the opposite. We're going in there to dismantle what they put in place and put the power back in your hands. I hope that answered your question. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Mitch, I think you raised your hand.